So welcome Prabhuji to the brief introduction on the English Bhakti Sastri from the Varnashram College Online. So let's begin with Srila Prabhupada's Pranam Mantra. Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pachatya Desatari Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panglungam Bhayate Girim Jatkripa Tamaham Vande Sri Gurun Dinatarana Hare Krishna. So before going further, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Vishnu Ratadas. I'm from Indonesia, but I'm based in Sridhar Mayapur. So I'm your facilitator for this English Bhakti Sastri. Yeah, I've been here in Mayapur more or less like 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So yeah, that's my brief introductory. Would you like to kindly introduce yourself? Like, what's your name? Where are you from? What's your current occupation, probably? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my name is Jagruk Mandal, proper from West Bengal,
Okay.
Durgapur, and then I got connected to ISKCON Pune.
Okay.
So
Durgapur.
that's
Yeah, yeah. I
Durgapur. We
visit
have a
Durgapur
center.
quite sometimes. Yeah.
We have a beautiful temple in Durgapur. It's a Mayapur satellite center in Durgapur.
Yeah. I've been there once. There's one brahmachari. His name is.
Oh, there is Chandrapur.
No. Another one. Anyway, there are many brahmacharis there. I know only one.
Devendra Prabhu.
Sonar Chaitanya Prabhu. Probably you know him, but
No.
he's not there. Probably.
Yeah, he is not there presently.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So you are applying for the first unit.
Yes.
For the Bhakti Sastri. So the first unit consists of the first 6 chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So I have sent you the student handbook for your study guide. So let's see here. Let me just share my screen. Yeah. So if you can see here, this is the student handbook. There are some quotation from Srila Prabhupada on Bhakti Sastri and systematic study, so you can read in your own. This is just to inspire you. Why do we need to study Bhakti Sastri? Well, ultimately, the aim of studying Bhakti Sastri is not simply to get a degree, not simply to get a certificate, but actually to understand deeper our Krishna consciousness philosophy, and ultimately to develop love for Krishna. So in the Bhagavad Gita, later we'll see in the Bhagavad Gita in the 13th chapter. So Krishna explained to Arjuna there are 20 items of bhakti. And out of those 20 items of bhakti, the most important thing Krishna mentioned there is that to develop love for Krishna, to develop pure love for God. That's what exactly Krishna says that. And it starts from the amanitva, means the humility. So to develop knowledge, once we have knowledge, actually humility should develop. Yeah, humility, actually, yeah, knowledge followed by humility, vidya, and then next vinaya. So when a person has knowledge, so naturally he will become more humble. So in the case of Bhakti Sastri, sometimes we see some devotees, as soon as they graduate from the Bhakti Sastri, they feel that now they are becoming senior. They know better than others. This is the general scenario that we have in our society. But actually, that should not be our mentality, because after all, Bhakti Sastri is actually the ABC in our Krishna consciousness philosophy. This is the basic philosophy that we have to know. So in Bhakti Sastri, we are studying the 4 books, namely the Bhagavad Gita, and then the Upadesmrita by Srila Rupa Goswami, and the Sri Sopanishad, and then Nectar of Devotion. But we will not study the Nectar of Devotion, the whole book. We'll study only the first 19 chapters of the Nectar of Devotion, because that's actually I would say that's enough to help us to develop love for Krishna. That's the most basic philosophy that we have to understand from the Nectar of Devotion, the first 19 chapter, because it's covered actually about sadhana, uh, Vaidhi sadhana, Raganuga, and then Bhava Bhakti, and then Prema Bhakti. Yeah. So if you see here, these are the aims of the Bhakti Sastri course. You can read in your own. And then, yeah, in this book also, it is provided the overview of each lesson, the overview of each lesson, and how you utilize these books as study guide. So there are 4 criteria in which the assessment will be taken. So first, of course, attendance. You have to attend whatever minimum requirement of the class. And then the closed book assessment. Closed book assessment means the exam. You cannot see the books exam. So because we are doing it online, I'll show you this. Let's take for the first unit. Yeah. 21. Okay. So this is for the exam, closed book examination. For the unit 1, so this is the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1 to 6. So these are some lists of questions that already provided for you. Actually, this is the Purva Swadhyaya. Purva Swadhyaya means you can answer this question even before the exam. That means you have to prepare yourself. Yeah. Out of all these questions, for the first unit, there are 63, but the later unit, like unit 2, 3, and others, there will be less questions. But because this is the this unit quite intense here, there are 63 questions. So out of these 63, I will pick only 20 questions for you. Okay, so you can prepare way in advance. You answer this, and the reference is also given here. So you just go to that particular verse and purport by Srila Prabhupada and answer, prepare yourself. And there are some analogies here given. So out of these analogies, maybe I'll take only 5. You don't have to memorize the analogies exactly like what Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, but I will examine you, I will assess you through how you understand that analogy. That's the most important thing. For example, here from the Bhagavad Gita text number, let's say, where is that famous verse? The Vasam Sijirnani Yatavya. Yeah, here, text number 22, for example. This is an analogy. So as a person puts on new garments, giving up the old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. So this is the comparison between the body is compared to the clothes, to the garments, and the soul is to the self, yeah, our body. So when our garments, our clothes is old and dirty, we have to change it. So similarly, when the body becomes useless, so we have to give up this body, so the soul will enter to another body. So in that way, you can explain this analogy using your own understanding. You don't have to exactly mention word per words here, but I just want to assess your understanding. What's your understanding on this analogy about the garments? How people change their dress, for example? I would ask just like as simple as that. Main thing here is that you study and you understand the analogy. So that's clear for the exam. Yeah, out of these all questions, I'll take only 20 of them. And how we will do the exam, we'll have a video call like this, whether through Zoom or WhatsApp, whatever convenience. And you have to close your eyes. I will ask the question and then you answer it. If you got the answer, you get the point. If no, Hare Krishna. Easy, yeah. And then the third one is that the closed book assessment. Closed book assessment means you have to write essays. Yeah. So here. These are in your student handbook some examples of good essays and bad essays. So the first one is bad essays. Okay, the question is like this. This is the question. Present how pure devotee's passage to the supreme abode is guaranteed by devotional service with reference to Krishna's statement in Bhagavad Gita chapter 8. So in these essays, there are so many vague words, even it mentioned here, my Guru Maharaj said in the class once. So this is not acceptable. The student is requested to take some reference from Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 regarding how a pure devotee transfer himself to the spiritual world. So like so many verses like Ante Kala Chamam Eva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. When we give up this body, we remember Krishna. So we'll go back to Krishna. Yam Yam Api Smaran Bhavam Jajati Ante Kala. Whatever a person remember at the time of death, so that destination will be achieved without any doubt. So that's from chapter 8. So you have to take the reference only from chapter 8, whatever requested here. Although sometimes you may see that some quote or slokas may relevant in the Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita because it is not asked in the question. So don't take that quote. You have to just stick on the chapter 8. Whatever question asks you, just follow that. So in that way, you will get good mark. Although again, I'm telling, our purpose is not simply to get good mark like this, but to deepen our understanding on a particular subject. So just stick on that. And the second essay, this is a good example of essay. So there are so many quotes here he puts from chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita. And then whenever you take some reference, some quote, include that quote and give the exact reference from which verse it is. It is from Srila Prabhupada's purport. Okay, so you get high mark, 89. This is a good mark. And generally, essays should be between 600 to 800 words. So I'm demanding here that you can submit the essay using the Word file. So it's easy for me to mark it also. Yeah. And if the question of the essay asking you to include some specific Sanskrit verse, you can pick some slokas which may be relevant to answer that particular question. And you conclude your essay using your own words with a powerful statement. Yeah, you don't need to go like beyond the reference that the question asks, taking from Bhagavatam or any other sources. Sometimes it may relevant, but because this is a Bhakti Sastri, so you just have to stick on that. Okay. And then the last assessment is the sloka memorization. So in Bhakti Sastri, total slokas that you have to memorize is actually 45 slokas. Where is it? Yeah, here is it. These are the whole verses that you have to memorize. This is on the page number 12 in your student handbook. So from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1 to 6, 12 slokas, chapter 7 to 12, 14 slokas, and chapter 13 to 18, 9 slokas from Nectar of Devotion. So this is 4 verses. This sloka is available in your student handbook toward the end. You can see the last pages of your student handbooks. And from this is Upanishad, the invocation mantra, the Om Purnam Ada Purnam Ida verse, and the Isavasha mantra. So there are 2. And then from Nectar of Instruction, Upadaya Smrita, so text number 1 to 4. So total verses is 45 verses. Okay. There are some standard pass mark here. Yeah, here you can see here in page number 9. So the pass mark for the open book means the AC. So you can see the reference, taking reference, open book. 65, closed book, no, open book pass mark is 50%. Pass book, closed book assessment is 65. And then memorization, slokas, 65. So out of those 45, it should be more than half. That means at least you have to memorize it 25 slokas. But I'm expecting you to memorize the whole slokas, 45. Okay. So that's the brief introduction, how you can use this student handbook specifically. And this is the overview. It's easy to study the books by seeing the overview. For example, like the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, from text number 1 to 13, it's talking about the preparation for war. We will see how Duryodhana is very diplomatic. Yeah. And then 14 to 20, signs of victory. So you can kindly read this in your own timing. And I will send you the link for the videos, recorded videos that I had given previously to the previous batch of this English Bhakti Sastri, because you have desire to also attend the unit 2, the complete Bhakti Sastri. So that will start on the 1st of understand? November, I think. Yeah. So hopefully we can do this very quickly. So far, you are the only devotee who applied for the first unit for the recorded course. So there are many devotees actually attended the live session. So that's actually even more enlivening. But this facility is offered. I'm doing this because many devotees also, they cannot attend the whole session. And yeah, you can do this. You can see the video, and we will have at least 6 classes live session for each chapter. If any question or something need to be clarified, you can ask there. It doesn't need to be a long session. It's a brief one. Just I want to make sure that everything is clear. Yeah. So in the live session, actually more interesting, because we have, interaction session. Student can ask question in between also. So like this, and quite few devotees still joining. All right. Yeah, and for the certification, so once you complete the whole Bhakti Sastri study, and also you pass all the examination criteria, the minimum standard, so those details, those marks will be sent to the ISKCON Ministry of Education for them to review, and then when everything is fine, then they will send the certificate. So it is not me who award the certificate, but the Bhakti Sastri certificate will be awarded by the ISKCON Ministry of Education. Yeah, even if you take also the Bhakti Sastri course in any other institution like Mayapur Institute we have here, and Vrindavan, maybe in ISKCON Chopati also, I believe they had. So all the Bhakti Sastri certificate will be issued by the ISKCON Ministry of Education. So I'm here just as a facilitator. Yeah, by age, I respect you. You are very much senior than myself. And yeah, I'm just trying to encourage the devotees to read Srila Prabhupada's books. Actually, that's one of the main purpose of the Bhakti Sastri, is to encourage the devotees to read Srila Prabhupada's book, especially in the systematic way. Sometimes devotees, after many years joining ISKCON, they still don't develop the taste to read Srila Prabhupada's book. Yeah. But when we take up this kind of course, such as Bhakti Sastri or even later Bhakti Vaibhava, so that's actually encourage us to read the book, because there will be an exam. So you have to really thoroughly study Srila Prabhupada's book. But of course, this exam is not the final exam. The final exam is the Ante Narayana Smriti, to remember Krishna at the time of death. This Bhakti Sastri certificate is not a guarantee by which you can enter Goloka Vrindavan, not at all. But still, studying Srila Prabhupada's book systematically, that will help us actually. I personally experienced that after, before and after I study Bhakti Sastri. So I feel a lot of change, a lot of changes in my life, developing taste to hear more, developing taste to read book. So that's the good side actually. Yeah, because reading, studying, and more hearing actually will help us to advance quicker in devotional service to Krishna. So yeah, I'm very happy and appreciate your presence very much. Whether any questions you would like to clarify on this brief introduction of the Bhakti Sastri course?
Never, it's clear.
Yeah. Okay. I'll send you in your WhatsApp the link for the videos so you can watch it, and whenever you have time to watch it. It's kind of a relaxed course actually. This, if you attend the direct Bhakti Sastri course, normally it takes only 3.5 months. Yeah, I did that a long time ago when I was still brahmachari. Now I'm a grihasta, so taking that opportunity, so I took that. So quite intense, 5 days in a week, and then on the 6th day you have to get exam. Every week you have exam, so that's very dynamic. But actually this online Bhakti Sastri, for the live session we will have twice a week. Yeah, and that will take us more or less 1 year. So this is like very convenient, especially for those who are grihastas or those who have some kind of full-time job. So it allow the devotees actually to participate. Sometimes devotees, they have desire to attend the Bhakti Sastri, but if we give like the full-time course, so many devotees don't get the chance, don't get the opportunity. So in this way, actually, this course is a relaxed course, and yeah, and it still help us to study Srila Prabhupada's book systematically. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's it from my side. If you have some doubts, any question, you can ask later through WhatsApp chats. I'll be always available for that.
Yes, Raj.
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, Durgapur is nice. I've been there 1 or 2 times, I think, Durgapur. I also went to Asansol somewhere close.
Yeah,
nearby that
we have a
place.
center. Yeah, we have
Yeah,
a center there in Asansol, coming up another temple.
yeah. All right, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.